So you guys, today I decided to do a little bit different with my video and switch it up for you guys. So instead of me doing my normal videos where I'm the one sort of telling you guys how I feel about things or giving advice and things like that, I decided like, why not go out into my home city right now and just talk to people and get their advice on stuff. So for this video, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be going around this beautiful city and talking to people, getting their feedback. Let's do this. All right, you guys, so I am here with
Dustin Johnson of the sailing vessel Freedom.
There you go, Dustin Johnson of the sailing vessel Freedom that I'm looking at over there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a shot of that. Dustin, could you please tell my lovely viewers what is something that gets you really nervous? I mean, you seem like a pretty cool guy. You're sailing Freedom. So what is something that gets you a little bit nervous?
I don't know, performance in any way, really, as far as I'm somewhat of a musician too. That makes me nervous to get up in front of people. I can feel my heart pounding right now. Just being on camera makes me a little bit nervous. But I guess, you know, obviously being out in the ocean makes me pretty nervous because you're pretty close to death out there all the time. You know, I don't know, I guess those are a few things that make me nervous. You know, how I get past that, especially when I'm out on the water, is I always kind of remind myself of how terrifying it is to not be doing what I'm doing. Like, I might be close to death, and you're taking risks and you're getting nervous. Like, actually, if I remind myself of that in the moment, especially if something goes wrong out there, it's like, oh man, my sail's wrapped up, or oh man, my main anchor just deployed without warning, or my dinghy broke loose in a storm and I gotta go recover. It's like, oh, this really sucks, like I'm nervous. And then it's like, well, actually it would really make me nervous if I was like sitting on land and not taking any risks at all, and, you know, not just being completely safe, you know, or being completely safe and not taking risks. So that makes me really nervous.
All right, and how long have you been sailing for?
About 4.5 years. I'm a solo sailor. I live on the hook, so that means I live at anchor. I don't dock.
Yeah, so you think maybe after another 4.5 years you won't be nervous anymore?
There's always with the sea, you kind of like, you always want to have a healthy fear. You know, almost don't think about it too much. You know, if you know what you have to do, you know, like if I sat here and if you had taken 20 minutes to be like, okay, you know, are you sure you want to do this? It's like, no, man, if I just start talking, you know, now I'm not as nervous. My heart isn't pounding as fast. You know, if you just get out there and you start doing what you know you have to do to satisfy your heart in the first place, the nervous, it's not that you're not nervous, it's not that you're not scared, it just doesn't matter anymore.
All right, so here I am yet again with I want to say three more very wise, very nice people here. All the way down there on the end is Thor. Look at all that wisdom. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Brooke because she's right here next to me. Okay, Brooke, so please tell all my viewers, what is something that makes you really nervous?
Like you said before, public speaking really gets to me, especially because I'm a super shy person. So even just like talking to like people I don't know, that definitely makes me nervous.
All right, and what is something that you do that mainly helps you to deal with that nervousness?
Probably to realize that a lot of people are just as nervous as me, and to realize that they just want to talk to you as much as you want to talk to them and not really overthink it too much. I think that's what gets me, overthinking. So not overthinking. And like my faith. I like to pray a lot and stuff. That gets me calm down. That's pretty much what I do.
I like that. That's really good. Okay, and what do you say, sir? What is something that makes you really nervous? Though you don't really look like you get nervous a lot. Right? I don't know.
What makes me nervous is not being able to accomplish something I set out to do for that day, week, or month. And how I get around doing that is every day I always, you know, she knows every day I wake up, I have a notepad, I write my goals for the day, for the week, or the month. And I try as hard as I can to fulfill those. And if not, I go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And then for Thor, what makes him nervous is elevators.
Elevators. How does Thor deal with elevators?
Still working on
Lays
it.
down on the ground and shakes.
Thor, do you have any words of wisdom for my viewers?
No.
All right, and that's basically it for today. More words of wisdom, you guys. Thank you. So, what makes you nervous? Take your time. What is your name, sir?
Jason.
Jason. And what is your name?
Mia.
All right. So here's the question I'm asking everybody. What is one thing that makes you nervous, Jason?
Just staying safe. You know, nowadays things are kind of crazy.
True. And what is something that you do to help you with like these feelings of nervousness when it comes to that?
I just like to talk about things to people, talk about what kind of times we're in. I talk to family, talk to neighbors, and just try to be aware of what's going on.
All right, communication. All right. And do you have anything to add? What is something that makes you nervous?
The Three Stooges make me nervous.
All right. And what do you do to deal with that?
They make me funny.
You just be funny?
Yeah, because when they do stuff like poking their eyes at people and do this, and everything.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, you guys. So I'm here again with another cool pair of dudes that I came across. I'm going to ask the same questions, but let's start with some introductions. What's your name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. And what's your name?
I'm Jonathan.
All right, so Sebastian and Jonathan. I'm going to start with Sebastian first. He's rocking that Super Mario shirt. I'm feeling his vibe right now. All right, so what is something that makes you nervous?
Being in a crowd and then everyone looking at you, I guess.
All right, how do you deal with being nervous in that situation then?
I don't know. I mean, I would try not to think about it and think about something else. That's about it.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, and what about you? What is something that makes you nervous?
Okay. Sudden pressure is very scary. Listen. Sudden pressure, presenting anything in front of a crowd, being recognized, because that.
We need to recognize him again. What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. All right, everybody, this is Jonathan. You have a Twitter?
Yes, at RacerJB7.
At RacerJB7. All you guys go follow Jonathan. All right, so how do you deal with being nervous?
I would just try to like think of something else that'd be like more calming, and then like see how if I can like apply that to the situation at hand.
What do you think of unicorns?
If need be, anything that helps.
Nice. What's your name?
Kenzie.
Kenzie. What's your name?
I'm Noah.
Noah. What's your name?
Hannah.
Hannah. And
I'm Max.
all right, so I'm going to start with Kenzie, and I'm going to just come down the line. What is something that makes you super, super nervous?
Spiders.
Spiders. How do you deal with that?
I scream and then I run to someone else to kill it for me.
Can't argue with that logic either. All right, what's something that makes you nervous?
Like awkward situations?
Awkward situations. Do you think this is an awkward situation?
Not too bad.
Not really. All right. So how do you deal with awkward situations?
Sometimes it helps to just be more awkward than the situation.
So how does that work? Talk to me a little bit about that. So is it that you're just trying to out awkward the situation itself and somehow it just cancels out?
Right, yeah. I mean, the more awkward you feel, I guess, like, the more comfortable I feel. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
That's how I feel about cheesecake. Like, I get to that point where it's just like, I feel like I've eaten too much cheesecake. And then at this point, I feel like I just need to keep eating more. Maybe I'll feel better about it, you know? What's something that makes you super nervous?
Heights.
Heights. How do you deal with that?
I don't know. I just try to avoid them. So, yeah.
Have you ever skydived before?
No.
Would you ever?
I don't know. I was thinking about it, but then I think I would chicken out.
How about jumping off of a really high waterfall?
I do that because it's into water, so I can do that.
It sounds to me like you have this whole fear of heights thing under control.
Yeah.
All right, what about you? What is something that makes you nervous?
Large groups of people.
Large groups of people. Says the guy I see walking around with what, 3 other people? I see everybody else here walking around in pairs, sir. All right, how do you deal with large groups of people?
I guess I just try not to think about it and I just stick to whoever I'm with, like this group, like right here. Just talk to them and focus on them rather than the people around me.
You have a pretty cool squad right here.
We sure do, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all so much.
For sure.
And I'm gonna call this a wrap. All right, so for me personally, whenever I get nervous, I'm not even gonna say it.